Requiring purchase orders to be approved before they can be printed or emailed is an option or feature within CenterPoint. Turning that feature on adds another layer of checks and balances to your accounting processes. To turn on the feature, we would go to File and Preferences. Underneath purchase orders on the left, there's a selection called Require Approval. We're going to select that and then go to the Database tab. The first option on this list is what turns on the purchase order approval requirement. So we're going to set that to yes. Now, purchase orders in CenterPoint don't require a vendor to be selected. However, in the approval process, you may require that a vendor be selected before it can be approved. If you need that feature, you'll turn this to yes, and if not, then you'll leave it at no. We're going to go ahead and save that. Next, we need to set up those people that will be able to approve purchase orders. If you have our CenterPoint payroll, then they are already set up as employees. If you don't have our CenterPoint payroll, then you may need to add those employees to your names list underneath Setup and Names. And I'm going to go ahead and edit a name, and they need to be marked as an employee in order for them to be able to approve purchase orders. In order for them to enter in a purchase order, they need to be marked as a purchaser, but to approve them, they need to be marked as an employee. We're going to go ahead and click Save and then close out of that. If you want to run a report on which purchase orders need to be approved before approving the purchase orders, you can find a report underneath Reports and then Reports again. And then underneath Transaction Reports, there's a section called Purchase Orders. In either one of these reports, the purchase orders or purchase orders detail, there is a filter, and if it's not on the list already, you can go to the More Items button and find the one called Require Approval and add it to the list. So if you just want to see this report with those purchase orders that require approval still, you would set the Require Approval setting to yes, and then you can preview the report and it would show you just those purchase orders that are requiring approval yet. We're going to go ahead and close that. Now, the place that we go to actually approve the purchase orders can be found underneath Processes, Purchases, and Approve Purchase Orders. Just a note that you might want to, if you haven't already set up database security, you might want to set up database security and restrict access to this screen to only those people or users that are able to approve purchase orders. And you can find videos and help on database security underneath that section. The purchase orders screen will be filled with a list of all of the purchase orders that have yet to be approved. You're going to select the date that you're approving them and then who is actually approving the purchase order. So you're going to select the person that's doing the approval. If your list is long, you may need to filter it. So there is a filter option on the bottom right. If I click on that button, it would allow me to limit the purchase orders to a specific company, purchase orders of a specific date, for a specific vendor, by a date required, and so on. So you would have the ability to filter the purchase orders for any of these items. Once you have filtered the list, to go ahead and approve the purchase orders is easy. However, if you do need to make a change to a purchase order, you can select it and then click the Edit button at the bottom. That's going to bring up an edit screen, and it would allow you to make any changes that you need to make to that purchase order before you can approve it. To go ahead and approve purchase orders, you select those purchase orders that you're going to approve, and you simply click the Approve button. And that's going to move them to a list of approved. And now you'll want to follow a process of being able to print or email those. And there is a separate video on printing and emailing purchase orders. And just one note before I close this video, I do want to note that if you do edit a purchase order, it is going to remove the approved flag, so it will need to be reapproved.